All right, let's learn another song I think everybody's heard. It's called Iron Man by Black Sabbath. My volume right here. And if you've done Smoke on the Water, and that's what you should do if you haven't played guitar ever before, you need to do that one first. We're going to do power chords again. Anyway, the riff we've all heard. I think it's on a commercial, or it was, and if you haven't ever heard that, I mean, you must live under a rock, because it's a really popular riff. Anyway, we're doing power chords. And again, if you can't do power chords really well yet, we're just going to use that first finger. Okay? So that's like level 1. And then if you can master that, then let's try to add that ring finger for the root in the 5th. And then we'll add the pinky for the octave in the 5th, which is the power chord. Now, you not only can do power chords on the low E string like this and move it around wherever you want to put it, but you can also do power chords on the A string as well. Okay? And that's what we're going to learn today. Now, I want to start with just this first finger. Okay, let's go through the numbers. Now, if you have a short memory, maybe you want to write these numbers down. And these are all numbers that are going to go on the A string, so that you can have the tab written out so you can follow it. But the first one's 2. And then I'm going to slide up to 5. So 2, slide to 5. So you might want to write an S between the 2 and the 5, because it doesn't go like this. He goes, he slides right up the end. So 2, slide to 5, and then we're going to go 5, 7, 7. So 5, 7, 7. Now, after that, we're going to go up to 10, fret 10. And that's, if you see the 2 dots there, well, that's always the 12th fret. That's the octave for the string. So 2 frets, take away 2 frets minus 2, and that's going to give you 10. And I still want you to use your first finger, because we're going to be doing power chords. And I want you to go 10, 9, 3 times. 10, 9, 10, 9, 10, 9. Okay? 10, 9, 3 times. And then we want to write 5, 5, 7, 7. Alright, so here's the whole thing. 2, 5, 5, 7, 7. 10, 9, 10, 9, 10, 9. 5, 5, 7, 7. Alright? Now, after you do that, and you get that down, we want to add, let me mention here too, when you're playing electric guitar especially, it's very important to mute strings, or to not let don't hit other strings with your pick, because it's going to mess it up. Right, watch, if I accidentally hit that low E and I'm not muting that string, it sounds like this. It really gets in the way, and you need to mute it. So don't pick it. And what we're going to learn how to do is how to mute that low E string with this same pointer finger. As we're pressing a string down, the A string down, we're going to lightly touch the low E with that same finger, so it's muted, so we don't get a sound out of that low E. It'll be silent as we do the riff. So now let's add the ring finger for the root in the 5th. So remember, this pointer finger is not only pressing down the A string on the 2nd fret, but it's also lightly touching the low E, so that we don't get a sound out of it. We're kind of getting a harmonic there, but the idea is no sound out of the low E. And then we want to add the ring finger here. So the ring finger, remember, this one's going to follow the leader here. So this ring finger is going to follow whatever this first finger does 2 frets away. So when I say the numbers, I'm talking about this pointer finger. This ring finger is just following on the D string. Just following the leader. So 2, 5. Now 5, 7, 7. Now 10, 9, 3 times. 1, 2, 3. You might find that pretty difficult. You got to keep the pressure, but slide the fingers. You got to have a stiff hand there, or stiff fingers. And then the last of it is 5, 5, 7, 7. Alright, now, after that we want to add the pinky. Okay, so on the G string, which is the next string towards the ground here, after the D, we have our pinky there. So we have 3 strings pressed down. We have the A string on 2, the D on 4th fret, and the pinky on the 4th fret as well on the G. Now, I'm not only pressing 3 strings, but this first finger has 3 jobs now. Let me explain to the other job. It's not only pressing the A string and being the root note, it is lightly touching the low E, but it's also kind of curving around, and with this part of my finger right here, I'm lightly touching the higher strings so that they don't come out. Actually, here we go, the B and the E. There we go. See, that finger is lightly touching the high B and E string. Kind of getting a harmonic there, but so that they don't come out. It's muting, this finger's muting the low E and the 2 skinny strings, and it's also pressing the A. And that's, you know, once you get that down, you can play lots of things. And see, so even if my pick accidentally hits those other strings, it's not going to matter. And plus, you know, I can just have free reign with my right hand. Just hit them all. Watch, I'm strumming all the strings. But I only get those 3. Now, if I don't mute with that first finger, I get this. Sounds kind of cool anyway, though, doesn't it? But you know, so we get all those other strings, and we don't want that. We want our power chords to be just those 3 strings and the others muted. Okay, a lot of explanation there, but I want you to really get the power chord down. So the power chords on the A string are a little more difficult than the ones on the low E because you have to do some muting. Okay, so one more time on the first riff of Iron Man. All right, hope you enjoy that one.